Hi guys. So in the last videos, I have covered the concept about cross database join and data blending. But now let us do a quick exercise about that, and let me show you how I can actually, you know, do a cross database join and data blending in inside the Tableau environment very quickly. So first thing first, you need to connect your first table or first data source. So go to data, underneath data, we have new data source. Click there, and then you can choose whatever, the file type you have. Like if your data in Excel, then click the Excel. If it is in CSV, then click text, and so on. So whatever file type, you know, your data is laying down, that particular file type you have to click from here. Okay, so I'm clicking Excel. I'm going to load the first data source, first data set. Um, yeah, so let me point out the correct folder. My folder name, yeah, this is my folder name. And here I got my two data sets. So I am going to load the first data set or the first file. Okay, so I click data, new data source, and then I point out the file, and I got my, you know, all the data sets. So whatever worksheet I have in my data in my Excel workbook, all those are reflecting here. So let me quickly show you this Excel workbook, and it's loading. Oh, it says already open. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so yeah, see here, I have here like sheet 1, DS1, sheet 2, and new DS1. So all this will come like a table inside my Tableau environment. So that is what you are able to see. All these are coming as a fresh table. So you should know which table your data is. Okay, so I'm just going to drag it here. Okay, so the moment I did, I got all my fields from table A. I got everything from table A or from the file called DS1. Everything got loaded here. And now I'm going to do cross database join. So remember guys, when you are going to do cross database join, so you just click here for the second data set. When you want to load the second data set, you have things called add. Okay, look at here when I'm hovering my cursor, add. So this place you have to click again. Okay, so unlike data blending, you don't have to go data again. Don't do that. You have to click the plus here, and when you do plus here again, you point out your file wherever is your file in your machine, and I'm pointing my file to DS2 and open. And now I got my DS2. I'll bring the DS2 here, and note, please note one thing. So now there is no any join types, etc., because this is Tableau 2020. Okay, but like I said in the previous session, um, from 2020, from the latest version of Tableau, even if you want to go back to the older fashion of doing the data join, still you can go there. And how you can do that? You have to double click on this table. Okay, the new DS1, on top of it, just do double click, okay, from your mouse. When you double click it, you see that this window, a new window pop up. Here you have close button. Okay, when you close it, you'll go back to your regular Tableau 2020 version. But again, if you double click it, you'll come back to the older version. Okay, older version of joins, etc. So now, since in the new version, I don't have Tableau joins or cross database joins available anymore by default. But then when I want to intensely create a joins, I'm just switching to the older version. How? By just clicking double click on new dataset 1, go back, new dataset 1, double click, and this turn out the older fashions of creating a joins, etc. Now I'll bring that DS2 from DS2 this dataset. Currently I just connected the dataset 2 from here. I got the table DS2, and here I bring on the canvas. Okay, the moment I bring in on the canvas, now it will pop up some joins. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do left join. Why guys, why I'm doing left join? Like we have already discussed, I want to get all data from DS1, but I'm concerned with only the matching records, with the records from DS2 which are matching with my DS1. So I only want to fetch out those records from DS2 which are matching with my DS1. However, I want to fetch out all my records from DS1. So that's the reason I have chosen left join. Now you see, I got my state quantity and the state cities cells. So yeah, so see here DS1 is coming on my this side, but yeah, you see here it's null because there is no data. Anyway, so my all data has been loaded. Now when I come here, sheet 2, so now you see here, this is what I was saying. When you do cross database join, it looks like all the fields, all the row dimensions or the measures, it looks like coming from the same data source, because we are not able to see two data sources. We are just seeing one data source. It says new DS1 plus. That is multiple connection it's showing. However, the cylindrical shape, if you see, you are able to see just one. Looks like everything coming from same data source. So that is your cross database join architecture. And now here you see here DS2, and here there is no data set name mentioned. So by default, how it has been arranged, this grouping has been arranged by data source for table. So I'm not doing anything now, and this is state DS2 because this is coming from this state field is coming from dataset DS2, and here it's coming from DS1. So I'm just going to bring it here, state, and the quantity, obviously it belongs to my dataset called DS2. Okay, the state and the quantity, these two are coming from dataset called DS2. All other fields are coming from dataset called DS1, like sales, you can see. Now if you want to group by, not like group by folder, but then sorry, not by data source table name, but you want to group by folder, you click here, and now that uh, group group by formatting has been changed. So now your group by is by folder. In earlier case, it was grouping by data source table itself. So now it is grouping by the folder. Now since this state and this state is being repeated, if you don't like to keep this in your data, you can hide this. Okay, now you have only the relevant records: state, city, quantity, and sales. Okay, all looks like coming from the same data set. Now you can bring the quantity on text label and the cells on the text labels, and go to show me click text chart, text table, and you got your quantity and sales along with your state. Now you drill down, you'll have the cities, and you got cities for each cities, the 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. That's okay. But when you go back to state, this all 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, three times, that means 30,000. It is aggregating. That is what is happening at the cross in case of cross database. In case of cross database, at the view level, like if you recall my previous videos where I said in cross database, aggregation happens inside the Tableau environment at the view level. So this is your view level. This is my view, right? And this view, when I go back to higher level view, Tableau aggregate all these three 10,000 and make it 30,000 for me. And here Tableau aggregates all this 520,000 and make it 100,000 for me. So when I click here and I contract this, then I got 30,000 and 100,000. Okay, so that is what is your cross database join. See, cross database is absolutely fine as long as you are connecting, within the same schema, same data source, and or maybe your data are all are at the same label. So most of the time, cross database is okay, but in case of this kind of issues, when your data granularities are at different labels, or when you are trying to connect to various different types of databases, let's say you are trying to connect one data source is coming from Oracle, another is coming from Microsoft Server, or another is coming from cloud. So if that kind of environment, if you're dealing in that kind of environment, then data blending is the best options. Okay, or if your granularities label are like this, different label, then also again you are going to use data blending. So these are the reasons why we go for data blending to overcome this kind of problems. So I'm going to do now data blending. Okay, so for that I'm just going to close this one now, and I said okay, and I'm going to do a fresh connection again. So now how I'm going to do, data, click new data source, try to load your first data set, I'm bringing the relevant table on this canvas. Okay, now look here, I'm going to data again. Okay, under data I'm clicking new data source again. Unlike the cross database join, I'm not clicking here. So this add I click only in case of cross database join. Okay, when I try to add my secondary table or secondary database in cross database join, I click this add. But now for my secondary database or table, I'm going to again going to data, and I'm going to click new data source, and again I'm going to click the Microsoft Excel. Okay, and here by going to data and new data source, again I'm loading my second you know table. Yeah. Now I just one thing, let me first turn out to the older fashion of joins. Yeah, now I will connect to new data source. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, so here I have my DS1 and DS2, both I'm getting. See here, there's a difference of data blending. When you try to connect both your data set from the new data source itself, then you can see both of your data set or sources on the top. Okay, here on top of your data pane. Okay, now first I'm going to bring state here, Okay, so I have selected DS2. Now I want to select DS1. Why? Because in my DS1 I have all my relevant data. So first I should select where I want, which I want to make primary table. Okay, so the table which you select first and bring on the canvas will automatically turn out to be a primary table, and it turn out in the blue mark color. You see here when I'm doing it, I bring state here and I bring the sales on the text column and see the blue tick mark. Okay, that means now it's turned out to be a primary table. And why I did that? Because I knew that all my majority of data or important data are in DS1, and only the supporting data I have in DS2. So now you see here automatically it's create a blending. Okay, because state, this field name is matching with DS1 state. So since both got the common name, common field, so that's how it's automatically create a blend. Okay, and this link you can see if you want to deactivate it. Okay, you can just click it and it's turn on, and you can turn off. So whatever you want you can do it. I am just turning on because that is what I want. Now I bring that quantity again on the text self, and now look, the problem which I was getting, the duplications, now it's resolved. So that is what is data blending. So, and look at here. So this orange color tick mark, it showing this is my secondary data source. So blue always represent the primary and the orange represent the secondary data source. So that is how your data blending looks like. Okay, I hope it's clear. So in practicality, things are very simple, very simple in order to execute this. Only the concept wise behind the scene, there was little concept to understand. But believe me, even those concepts are not difficult. As and when you start, picking up the things, you will realize everything and you will understand, and you realize it's not that difficult the way it may looks like as of now. But yeah, but don't worry about that. Gradually you will start picking up and you will start picking up all the things and learning all the things, so things will be good. Just you need to do little more practice. I'll be giving you some data set today, and yeah, just try with that and get familiar with whole things whatever that we have covered. All right, so that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys in our regular Saturday class.